I know, Maurice, from where you sit as an auditor, you directly link with the tax collector. Yeah. So the fear has always been that with this exposure, there's just kind of a narrowing in from the tax collector. I don't know what's your experience.
Thank you, Laban. I think that's one of the things that have been, we keep on hearing from participants. And what we always try to do is allay that fear. And what we've done in the past, we've actually invited the Commissioner of Insurance, of Regulatory Authority, to come and have a chat with them, just to allay that fear and also encourage them to participate. What we've seen and what we normally encourage participants, we just make sure that have your books in order. And we go through a very robust process as KPMG to identify people such as John, to just make sure that, one, their books are in order, their taxes more or less what are expected to be. And we're trying to identify the fastest growing company that, is a role model among many. So for you to be a role model, ideally, you should make sure you also have your taxes and other regulatory affairs in order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's just look at kind of the profile. Is it only practitioners in the real estate, or who fits the bill to be a top 100?
It's actually any company that has revenue based from 70 million to all the way to $1 billion. Mm-hmm. And what we then do is, as long as you're not an insurance company, a bank, or a listed company, or even a SACCO, if you're within that bracket, then you qualify to participate in this process. It's a voluntary process, and NMG and KPMG have agreed or decided that that particular bracket is more or less representative of what you consider to be a mid-sized company. And when we go through the whole process of analyzing whatever information you've shared with us to come up with a way of then ranking you and identifying you from your peers. And then that process then ends, of course, in the gala dinner, which is a celebration. And the whole idea is to make sure that we're in a position to then celebrate some of the good stories, tell some of the good stories, for example, that John has told us, and also other companies, and just to recognize them. Because the feeling has been that that particular segment continues to contribute significantly to the economy, but it remains largely unrecognized. So we try to recognize heroes like John here and others, to be able to put them in the spotlight and encourage them to continue supporting the economy.
Let's look at how do you shortlist, and also what is the benchmark? What is the kind of the guidelines? How do you shortlist? And then, John, you're going to give us your experience and how it was.
Yes, we normally start with a call to entry, and it starts like today. So today we had a call to entry, we had the media launch, just trying to tell everyone that the survey process has now commenced. This year we've retained a company called Ipsos. Ipsos is well known in this industry. So then they then reach out to those particular participants. As we said earlier, this year we are doing it a bit differently. So we are targeting, given that this is our anniversary year, we've been running this survey for 9 years. So the 10th year we wanted to do it a bit differently. And what we've done is that we've decided to then reward these companies that have been with us for the last 10 years. So like this year, the launch or the call to entry is to those participants, the top 100 companies for the last 9 years. So once we send them, we go through a process of filling up what we call a general questionnaire and a financial questionnaire. Financial questionnaire has several ratios which we require to get or determine from those companies to be able to rank them financially. We also have general questionnaire. A general questionnaire will have the qualitative aspects of their business. What are the challenges they're facing? Are they expanding? Well, how are they going about it? What's the outlook to East Africa market? What challenges are they facing from a customer-driven perspective? Or is it even from a funding and financing perspective? What are the challenges that this particular segment is facing? So for the last 10 years, we've accumulated quite a bit of data, and we'll be rolling out that also shortly.
I should mention that there was actually a celebration of the 10th anniversary this year.
Yes.
So a lot more to look forward to. What is the need for KPMG, looking at the top 100 awards and opportunities for future partnerships also?
Yeah. I think first off is that KPMG, and our CEO did say that earlier today, is that we normally do this as a CSI. If you ask John here, we are not the auditor of his company. And actually, for most of the companies that we're looking at small and mid-term companies who have different auditors or different consultants. But the whole idea is to, as the CEO said, Nation Media and KPMG trying to identify, or as part of our CSI initiatives, try to uplift, so that these guys can be able to tell their stories. Going forward, we are looking forward to his companies and other companies. As you know, every year we do celebrate such heroes. And our plan is to continue doing that. And we welcome partnerships with other stakeholders who can be able to support them either from from a sponsoring various categories perspective, also even partnering with us as knowledge partners, as financial institutions, etc. Now, this year, we have actually a very unique item that we would want to also highlight. This year, we are launching something called the Marketplace. Marketplace is a child of what the top 100 winners from the last 9 years have been talking to us about. And they've been asking, fine, we've participated for the last 9 years. How do we connect with these guys? As we said, we're now operating in 4 countries, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda. And we are looking for a platform to put everyone together. So if you participated in the top 100 forum and you've won, basically been ranked top 100, you now have access to something we're calling the Marketplace, which is basically a website that has all your credentials. So all you need to do is log in and be able to network and connect among your peers, equally recognized within Kenya and East Africa. And also part of this year's initiative, because we are not targeting, this year unfortunately is not open to everyone. We want to target those who've been ranked for the last 9 years.
Why is that? Why is the change of kind of...
The change, Laban, is due to the fact that we felt that for 9 years we've had very many companies that have done very well. And this being an anniversary year, we wanted to do it differently. We've been celebrating it for the last 9 years. This being our annual celebratory, it's 10 years now. So we wanted to come up with a platform or a way to give back and thank these participants. And how we're going to do it is that we will have various categories. The initial one that has always been there will be there, which is the financial statements ranking. That will be there. And then we also have several other categories: CSI, employees, innovation, and also from a safety perspective. So we are looking forward to guys participating. So my communication today is that log in there. You get all the credentials and all the information you need to participate for this year. We are targeting you if you've been participating for the last 9 years. Yeah.
All right, that's great. Maurice, I think the question here is, well, it's a family business, as I said again, it's a father's son, really, as they say, is a dukawala sort of thing. You just want to maintain the business within the family, but not really kind of expand and just get the whole attention.
Yeah. And what we normally tell them is nothing wrong with that. I mean, it all depends on where you want to go, what you want to achieve. Because some of them want to expand. They get to a point, they realize, okay, I think we're running. And we have very good examples. I think you've covered some of them here. Yes. You get to a point, you become so big, and then you realize you need to then change your governance. You need to introduce a board. You need to probably get a mentor. You need to start working with professional firms, etc. So I think the Top 100 initiative exposes you to that. Like what, as a participant now, what he has access to very many forums that we, the two partners, come up with. The Marketplace, for example, will create whatever sales you need and networking opportunities. That's a big plus for any person participating. The other thing is, of course, now access to us, access to Nation Media. They can come for you and tell you, I'm launching these kind of products. So this is what I want to do. Can you help me push my message? That's critical. We also do training and mentoring sessions. Club 1, we're trying to set up, in the process actually finalizing the whole setup of the Club 101. 101 is where you've been participating for the last 10, at least you've been a past participant, and your revenue band has now moved to over 1 billion shillings, because Top 100 is from 100 to a billion, over 1 billion. These are guys who have gone through a lot of pain to get to where they are. And we're trying to set up a mentorship session where these guys can then mentor him as John, who wants to then move to the next level. And they'll tell you, for you to move from here to here, because we have several war stories there that these guys keep on telling us. This is where I was, this is where I've moved, these are the challenges, this is what you need to do.
Meeting up with other stakeholders, okay, I don't want to hammer the taxman, but also looking at the Capital Markets Authority, the NSE, what's kind of your mentorship also and interaction to the winners, of course, with other stakeholders?
Yeah, so we do partner with, we actually have been partnering with Nairobi Securities Exchange for the past couple of years. And the whole idea is to expose them. If you want to fundraise, there's actually something called the GEMS market, GEMS. Yeah. So for them, they have access to that. It's very easy, straightforward, targeting to small companies that then get to get financing. We also then look at the various stakeholders that these guys will be involved in, KRA. So we do invite them at our launches, and so that they're able to then interact with them, to be able to guide them in terms of this is what you would want to do, and also socialize so that they can also share some of the challenges that they face, especially from a regulatory authority perspective.
What is your sentiments around this year, and especially now as we head towards an election, and especially from the business side?
I think personally I look forward to when we'll come to as a nation. I think when we'll come to a situation where election year is like just any other year. And we have very good many examples actually in the region. I think there's so much noise, and given what has happened in the past, we normally see most of the companies, especially the big companies, holding up on any, for example, any additional funding, any aggressive expansion, also changing of their strategies, so that you knew 5 years ago that there will be an election, so it didn't just appear. So what we see is people strategizing around that. If you're within the region, you can diversify and probably do more business around there. So I think it's just aligning your strategy to make sure that you can navigate profitably this year.
All right. So as an audit firm, is there maybe any other details, maybe perhaps advisory or any other measures you're giving or outlooks that you might have for the year going forward?
I think it's going to be a good year. Definitely there are challenges that we foresee. I mean, especially in the financial services sector. Interest capping has had its own share of challenges, both from a bank perspective and also from entrepreneurs' perspective. Because
actually, what he mentioned is actually very critical. You know, you'd find that perhaps maybe we've seen bank results releasing their Q1 results, and they just want to hold back. And practical example from John also that hey, don't borrow now, but let's just wait and see.
Yeah, which to me is I think the whole idea is, and this is my view. I think they also need to be proactive, and we do understand where they're coming from. I mean, the margins have shrunk in terms of what they can make. So if you look at most banks, you see they're tending towards probably moving. I mean, the results are public. They are not doing too well, and they're trying to realign themselves. Whether that's as a result of interest cap, or whether that's as a result of them now trying to be more efficient, or probably that's what they should have been doing in the first place. I think the jury is out there. But I think it's definitely, when you put all those things in perspective, the election, the macros not being too probably optimistic or positive, and then the liquidity aspects from the credit crunch. I think those are the main challenges that I foresee, especially for capital-intensive operations or projects like John here is involved in. I think for me, it's another great year to celebrate entrepreneurs. And if you're out there at home, please do participate. Go through the whole process. It's very rewarding, and the benefits are immense. And Nation Media Group and KPMG have committed to support you and make sure that you grow to the next level. And I don't know what else I can say. All I can say is that watch this space. Look out for adverts that will be rolling out in the next couple of days.
Talk about the portal. Just so that you have a new portal, especially for registry, especially even for the new entrants.
Yes. So it's marketplace. And basically what will be happening is that going forward, just look out for the ads on Nation for Daily Nation and also Business Daily. We are going to put out all the information. If you need to submit information, our contact this year is Ipsos and also at KPMG. So all the details will be there. And we look forward to hosting you. And the gala dinner, which is on 13th of October, we look forward to recognizing this year's top 100 and also the other parameters that we've set. So it's going to be a good year, and I'm optimistic about it.